All of us have been through situations in life, especially those who work as creatives, in which someone has the same idea as us. It feels extra frustrating when we begin to compare their idea with ours, often leading us to overthink it and diminish our own efforts. But it happens more often than we'd like to admit, and it happens to the big names, too. In 2006, it happened to Tina Fey and Aaron Sorkin, two television heavyweights who went head-to-head on NBC to get their respective projects approved, 30 Rock and Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. The premises of these two series are very similar. They are both about the making of a live sketch comedy show on one of the biggest networks in the country. Now, we all know 30 Rock ran for multiple seasons, while Studio 60 got canceled after just one. But this is one of those moments in television history where what's going on behind the scenes is just as good as the shows themselves. Studio 60 was seen as having the upper hand against 30 Rock. The Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip cast image via Warner Brothers. Back in 2006, Aaron Sorkin was one of the biggest screenwriting names working on television. He had just finished The West Wing, an intense political drama that won 26 Emmys over its 7-year run, and was looking for his next project. Whatever he wanted to do, at the time pretty much everyone expected it to be a hit, so when he settled on writing Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, a fast-paced drama around the making of a show similar to Saturday Night Live, it was a no-brainer. The cast had Matthew Perry in his best role, having just wrapped up Friends, as well as Bradley Whitford coming from The West Wing, Amanda Peet from The Whole Nine Yards, and a young Sarah Paulson in search of a project where she could make her mark. How do you go up against that? That was the question Tina Fey likely asked herself almost every day. Back then, the untitled Tina Fey project was a little different from what it would grow into. The pilot already had most of the eccentric humor of Alec Baldwin's Jack Donaghy, with Tracy Morgan playing clueless superstar Tracy Jordan, and Rachel Dratch playing a character that would eventually become Jane Krakowski's Jenna Maroney. Not to mention Fey herself playing the main character Liz Lemon, creator and head writer of 30 Rock's own version of SNL, The Girly Show. Fey and most of her main cast were also SNL veterans and had the backing of SNL creator Lorne Michaels himself, who was an executive producer on 30 Rock, too. But despite all that they had going on in their favor, Tina Fey and the 30 Rock crew didn't expect to emerge victorious in a head-to-head against Aaron Sorkin and Studio 60. In her typical self-deprecating fashion, Fey mentioned her bad luck at her first attempt at prime time. I'm going up against the most powerful writer on television. I was joking that this would be the best pilot ever aired on Trio. And then Trio got canceled, mentioning NBC's second-tier channel that ran canceled TV shows at that time. Even Alec Baldwin, who was already an accomplished screen actor and had hosted SNL a dozen times already, wasn't that confident. I'd be stunned if NBC picked up both shows. And ours has the tougher task as a comedy, because if it's not funny, that's it. Whereas a drama can start off as a hard-hitting medical show about real issues, and before you count to 3 it's about who's who. Eventually, the rivalry between Studio 60 and 30 Rock reached a pinnacle when Aaron Sorkin asked Lorne Michaels for permission to observe SNL's production for a week, and was straight up denied. I haven't read Sorkin's script, but God knows I've been told about it. Since we do sketches about Christians all the time, said Michaels at the time, referencing Crazy Christians, the sketch that gets censored and sets the plot of Studio 60 in motion. I guess he's going for a bigger set of issues, his characteristic subject being power and its responsibilities. But is this a new insight, that networks are not to be trusted? Michaels capped off his commentary with what seems like a well-directed jab at Sorkin in an attempt to protect his own turf. The reality is that the network isn't that powerful anymore. Talent is.